came down in about 86, I think it was, and the story with that was I'd played a few games at Anarchy. I was a battling footballer, hadn't played much junior footy since I was under 12, so I was out at Anarchy. Then I had a break for a couple of years. I think I was still only 19, 20. A couple of mates from work that I work with said they wanted to get back into footy, and one of the blokes was determined that we're all going to get in together and come down together, and it was going to be North Geelong because his old man had played here, and that's where we're playing, you know. And they were determined. We did a bit of gym work over the summer, did a bit of running, get ready for it. Come down first night, one bloke came down out of the three of us, myself and one other bloke, and the bloke that was determined to get us down there never came that night. He pulled out at the last minute, never turned up once. The other bloke lasted once, and I was here all along the way, and I was a bit, I suppose, I didn't love the idea of coming to North Geelong because they wore Collingwood colours, so I thought, oh, I don't know about this, you know, like, so anyway, came down and I've been here ever since. So luckily they got me here, and yeah, I just felt welcome once I was there, and it wasn't any particular people. The older people in the club, like your Keith Barclays and all of that, were always people that were always made you feel welcome. I was a pretty quiet kid, but you just got out there in the ground, and I think whoever was playing there at the time made you feel like you were part of the club pretty quickly, which is great when you're new into a club, and all of a sudden you go, yeah, I could stay here. And you know, obviously then I got a bit involved after a year or so and got onto the committee, and it went from there. Mm-hmm. Look, I feel like a lot of my achievements were off the field. Even though I played a few games and did all of that, a lot of them were twos. A lot of them, it's always great when you get a senior game and you play in the ones. But I probably early in my life, or early in my career here, I was more I just wanted to play and enjoy the club and that sort of thing, and have a kick. So it was more just. The premierships come, obviously 88 was the first one as a championship. That was good. Then there was a long break where we were playing in finals year after year, and I think it was like, had that one and then played in 3 losing grand finals before we got another one to balance it up, and ended up with I think 4 winning grand finals, all the twos, but the 3 losses, so at least I got the balance right, and got that sort of even. But you know, I played until I was 41, I think, so I was getting a bit old in the tooth at the end of it, but I enjoyed those last ones probably more than the early ones, just because I knew what it was about, and I didn't get just enjoyed it and enjoyed the celebrations, and it was great. Grand finals are great, but just spending time with the boys after it for the Sunday and Monday, and just sort of enjoying a few beers and that, it's just a great feeling. And North Geelong around that time was very successful, so we tended to do it every year, and yeah, good fun. But I think for me, some of the successes were off the field and doing the stuff I did off the field. Got to get it right. 2003 was a come from behind. That was the last one I played in. That was great because we were down by 3 or 4 goals at 3/4 time playing Cotter, and stormed home, and that was a really good feeling, because at the time I thought, that's it, that's my last game. I ended up playing a couple more years after that, but I thought that was going to be it. Hang the boots up, finish with a grand final, great stuff. So that was good. 96 and 97 were good. I was captain in 97, so that was all right. Wasn't a great game. I got sort of injured, and I sort of had a crappy average year with hamstrings and just couldn't quite get right. But 96, I enjoyed that too, because it was in the wet, and I sort of loved it in the wet, so it was a good day out. So yeah, but they're all good. How do you pick one? I just been around the club and working through the club. I think I've done the role as treasurer for 4 years. I was secretary for a couple of years. I was president for a couple of years, but didn't love being president, because I didn't love that centre of attention sort of stuff and getting up there. Not like the bloke, like a bloke like Hab, who just loves the centre of attention and loves the microphone. I never really loved it, so I was happy to sit in the background and sort of help out and do my job as, either football manager and things like that. When I retired, I've done the running for something like 15 years. So I was pretty happy with that, just to enjoy and still be around the boys after I played. But a couple of things I've done over the time was, one of them was just organised to get this ground named after Keith Barclay, which I'm still pretty proud of. Probably there's a few people around the club that don't love the idea because it's probably done us out of naming the ground after a sponsor, but for me, actually naming the ground after a great bloke like Keith Barclay was an honour to sort of get through and get it officially done in the right way. So that always, makes me feel good about that for a bloke like that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's so many stories over the years of just enjoying time. We've had some great times over the years. We've had some low times. Premierships are good, but sometimes the years it's just a great place to come and a second home. Like just to come down, even now, coming down on a Thursday night and chatting to the guys and just sitting around having a quiet beer, and that it's just the second home to come to. Yeah. It was great that when my girls were younger, they could play netball and that sort of thing. They sort of lost interest in netball. That's fine, but just to have the girls and come down and do that different aspect was great, and just somewhere to come, what I mean, and make great friends, lifelong friends. Yeah, I think, look, probably the Tim Swennisons and the Darryl Jones were great, and then Derek Fitzsimmons in the last few, at the end after them was just, exceptional. So how do you split them? Scat was probably the most natural footballer there that probably could have gone a long way. Chose North Geelong, and loved North Geelong so much that sometimes I think that some players love North Geelong too much that, but it's lucky for us and bad luck for everyone else, But